Today's video is brought to you by the generosity of Newbold targets. Newbold targets are self-sealing reactive polymer targets that act like steel targets for training and practice, but are safer than steel. They allow bullets to pass completely through the target without ricochet or lead splatter. Check out their links in the description and thank them for bringing us today's video. Now then, this trigger finger. Here's what I want to think. I want to think straight to the rear. Now for me, what that looks like is you can do one of two things. Either I can put the pad of my index finger here. Either I can put the pad here on the trigger and press it straight to the rear. Or if I have big old fingers, I can put the first knuckle on there and press that straight to the rear. Which one is it for you? I don't know. Depends on the size of your hand and the gun that you're shooting. My P30 that I normally shoot, I'm a pad of the finger guy because it's the way that that gun fits my hand. I've shot small guns, and if I shoot a small gun, I have to put a little bit more finger on the trigger. So what I'm trying to get here is that if I show you with one hand, what I'm not trying to do is pull. So if I get too much and I pull it this way, watch what happens. See how the laser moves, because I'm a left-hander. See how it moves right to left if I press that way? Or if I get too little, see how it moves the other way? So this is what I'm doing here. See how I've got just a little bit of trigger finger on it? And so what I'm doing there is that it makes it go, see how it moves left to right when I do that? Now if I go too much and I start pulling, and I'm honestly not exaggerating that there, that's what happens, and that will make you go left or right. But if instead I press straight to the rear, see how it stays steady? So if I press straight back, and what I'm doing there, see where my finger is? On this particular gun, because it fits me that way, I'm right in the middle of my trigger finger and pressing straight to the rear. Okay, now I can bury it like this and still get that if I think straight to the rear. See, it's just a little bit of leftward press. Pretty close. Make sense? So now what I want you to do is go back to your dry fire target. Get the grip, all the grip stuff we've been working on. See my sides, take your time here. Press straight to the rear, click. Great. I didn't go left or right. I pressed it straight to the rear. It stayed nice and steady. Make sense? Back to your targets. If all you went home with is grip the gun as high as I can, grip with my pinkies, try to keep that front sight steady and get a steady press where the front sight stays where I want, you are in a great spot. And for the next month, if you worked on that, I would be a happy, happy camper. And when we came back together next month, we'll have a whole lot more to do. We have so much more to do. I just want to set you on a path here to have all the basics down. This is the basics right now that you're doing that will drive your dry fire for the rest of your life. Now, do I sit here and do these very slow trigger presses all the time? I do. I do these about once a week. About one time a week do I sit in my dry fire dojo and go, just remember how to press the trigger without messing up the gun. Now, of course, the problem is you can lie to yourself, right? You can go, yeah, it was a great trigger press, and you know it wasn't. Well, who are you lying to? You're only lying to yourself. Instead, go, no, that's not what I wanted to do. And have you ever had a bad day where sometimes, like, you do it for 15 minutes, you're like, I suck at this, I'm putting this stupid thing away. I didn't learn anything today. I don't know how to shoot a gun, I quit. Okay.
I did that in duck hunt.
There you go. And just come back tomorrow. That's the dog who pisses you off, right? So just come back tomorrow if that's the case, okay? Just come back tomorrow if that's the case. You don't have to go hard if things are falling apart, okay? So one final task tonight, and then our brains are probably full for the evening. We'll probably get out of here just a little bit early. Is that same thing. I am going to grip the gun as high as I can. I'm going to get my second hand on the gun, and I can even look at it. Does this feel good to me? Does this feel like I want it to? Is this doing what I feel like my firearm should do? Cool, okay, good, I've got that grip. Now you might go, no, this feels weird, need help. Okay, cool, and then I see it. Okay, now then, what I'm gonna do here is this one particular drill is I'm gonna reach in and touch the trigger and bring my finger back out. Reach in, touch the trigger, little bit of pressure, bring it back out. Reach in, touch the trigger, little bit of pressure, bring it back out. Little bit of pressure, bring it back out. A little more every time. Little bit of pressure, bring it back out. Little bit more. Oh, see, like I went off. Now, I didn't know which press it was going to go off, but what did that make me do? I'm not making the gun go off. I'm just giving it a little pressure. There's a little pressure. Yep. There's a little pressure. For anybody who might be watching later, this was not me. I learned this from Daniel Shaw. Shaw Strategies. To give a little bit of pressure, come off. A little bit of pressure, a little more, come off. A little bit more. And I kind of like to see how much can I put on there without it breaking. Ooh, that was good. The intent here is to be surprised. Ah, there it went. When the break happens. So the intent is, I'm not trying to break the trigger. I'm just trying to put a little bit of pressure. Now, when we get more advanced in this, what will happen is, how much pressure can I hold that out? See, I went a little bit far. I'm not used to this trigger on this particular gun. How much pressure can I set on this and not send it out? So that if, God forbid, I had to have a hostage situation or something like that, and I have to go drop it right now, get away from her, and I've got this trigger staged up and ready to go, that I just have to add the tiniest bit and I get the exact shot I wanted. That's what the pressure is, okay? So does everybody understand what they're doing? Pressure game. Back to your stations and give it a try. I want you to do about 20 reps of it. Pretty good, Joe. A little bit of fledge there, but not bad. Why you shake your head no?
Because I switched to the right.
Better shot than 80% of shooters in America, dude.
Yeah.
And guess what? You didn't do what you wanted it to do. Guess what you get to do? You get to do it again.
Exactly.
No
again.
What's that?
There's no build on this.
It's nice.
Boom. Yeah. Every time.
That's because that trigger is personally built by Ernest Langdon. That's a killer gun. If I wasn't an HK-sponsored shooter, I might shoot that gun. Come on in. Everybody's hands starting to hurt. Like I've seen everybody starting to go, gosh, dang it, my neck hurts, my back hurts, all these things. Almost nobody does an hour and 15 minutes of dry fire, and that's what we've been doing so far. Standing up too long and doing all those things. So I think that's a good spot for us for right now. We're going to do these dry fire clinics. So just as a path forward. So this week, today we have our first dry fire clinic. We're going to do this again next month, and then we'll take that next step and work on some other drills. Then the month following, we're actually going to do it live. We're going to do live fire instead, and then verify that the skills that we've been working on are there. That actually will be an all-day class. Unfortunately, that month, because of the gathering and all that it's doing, it will be all day on a Thursday. And people go, dude, that sucks. I have a job. I get it.
Do you know what day yet?
It is the day before the gathering.
Oh, okay.
It's the day before the gathering starts. Mr. Zarnett asked to do some handgun training, so I'm like, dude, let's do it. So if you want to walk through the progression, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to. I'm just here to help you, okay? So something that stood out to you today, Everybody treated their firearms with respect. That's awesome. That was exactly what I wanted to see. You guys all did a good job of accepting and trying some things, which is also interesting to see, especially with gun stuff, especially dudes. Dudes show up and go, I know how to shoot a gun. I know how to do this. And I go, try this instead. No, it doesn't work for me. What do I know? I'm only the teacher. But you guys did awesome at that. So thank you so much for that. So here's what we're going to do to end. And that is, you can leave all my guns sitting right where they are. But if yours is in a holster, I want you to face your target, take it safely, put it in the holster. And then once you leave, you are done with class and out of my control. Do not draw firearms out in the training center. Do not do stupid things with guns here. Make sense? If you have a holster that's outside of the training center, don't bring any ammo back in here. Just grab your holster, come back, face your target, put your gun back away in its holster, and then you clear from there. Any questions? You guys, thank you so much for coming. I am so appreciative of you.